water and lots of ice. She knows that I be the boss of life. City on lock from the left to the right. Fair girls, how am I meant to decide?
So I've just finished working on my first full campaign since going freelance. It's nice to wrap up a project where I was on there from the initial idea all the way through to delivery. So this project was working on the release of the new Air Max 95 OG Neon. We've created for social, in-store, at home. We even projected on the side of this radio tower in Liverpool, which was pretty cool. And we also teamed up with Jamie Webster and Potter Paper to make some really nice unboxing social content.
Original styly.
So lots of nice things happening and quite a varied amount of output and a lot of things to think about. But from a design side, we had quite a few deliverables, especially for social and out of home. So have a look at this. So these were the different variations of out of home, which featured in Glasgow, London, Liverpool, Milan, which is really exciting. By the way, I've really organised this. They don't normally look this neat and tidy on deadline day, but most of them were normal sizes, so it's absolutely fine. But we did have some weird ones in like some shopping centres in Milan where they kind of wrapped around different cubes and they're in these food halls, kind of like on these really tiny little screens. So it's quite interesting to work at some different formats that I never have touched before. So obviously they're all the static designs, but then you also had all of these as animated versions as well. So you've got to be just as organized with your After Effects files, which is even harder. But obviously we've got them split into all the different locations, all the different sizes. So it's all good. But my main takeaway from working on this is you have to be organized with your artboards. Because if you've got 50 different variations and you get one client change, that can write off a whole day. So organization is key, especially at campaigns of this scale. But yeah, super cool project with super cool people. Very, very happy about this because it's the main reason I left my last agency to go freelance. It's just about picking out those particular jobs that I really want to be a part of. Those fashion, sports, and sort of lifestyle culture brands that are just making some nice stuff that's really exciting. It's kind of the whole reason I got into design. So I actually need to head into Central to get a few things done. I've actually got a meeting about a potential job at an agency I've been wanting to work at for a couple of years, never had the opportunity to go there. Now that I'm freelance, they need a hand, and obviously I am free. So yeah, could potentially be working there for the next few months, maybe even longer. I don't know. And then I need to go to London Graphic Centre because I need to get some supplies for a creative project. Just a weird idea I had. Apparently it's weird. I thought it was pretty cool, but yeah, apparently it's weird. So you guys can be the judge of that and let me know. But essentially I need to get some chrome spray paint and some PVA glue. Any guesses on what that's going to be? We'll stick around, we'll find out later. But anyway, I'm going to get ready and then head off and then we'll catch up when we're in London. You guys are just unlocking new parts of the map. Welcome to my wardrobe. I'm only showing you my half because my girlfriend's half is nowhere near this organized and it is crazy. But essentially, you know how UI has a light mode and a dark mode? That's kind of what I've got going on over here. A little bit of a monochrome ordeal, not much in terms of color. Essentially, I have loads of the same stuff that's just a light version and dark version, including the Uniqlo Airism trackies, which I've been living in. Got them in the black, got them in the grey. The only decision I have to make is, am I having a dark day or a light day? But these are genuinely the comfiest things I've ever bought. They're like straight leg trouser trackies, so they fit really cool, a little bit oversized, and you can kind of dress it up or dress it down. So I think because today is a somewhat of a summer's day, we're gonna go for the light mode. I didn't really plan a transition, so we'll do a little 3, 2, 1. Yeah. There we are. And in terms of the crepe situation, it can get a little bit complicated because where I've been working with different sports brands and sports agencies, you can't wear competitor clothing when you're going into the offices or if you're meeting the clients. You have to have a little bit of a rotation just to make sure that you can wear something suitable for when you're going in and yeah, either meeting clients or working in an office. So you've got to have a little bit of a rotation. And I'll show you what my rotation is saying at the moment because this might have to change if I get this next job because I'll give you a hint, it's none of these. So first in the rotation, got these little Nike TNs, nice kind of blue color, adds a little bit of height as well, always a bonus. Then I have the Asics in a kind of beigey color. These are nice. Goes with pretty much everything, super lightweight, perfect little summer crepe. And then, hear me out, I had a bit of a recent purchase and I kind of want your guys' opinion on this. Check these out. These are rowers. I can't actually remember the name of the shoe, but they're super interesting. Look at these, they're kind of like trainer boots almost. But yeah, I've been too scared to wear them. Look at the top of them, I think they're quite interesting. I like the buckle, they don't have laces, you have this like little switch thing that you twist on. Very, very cool. And also, currently on the foot, Birkenstocks, which I absolutely love and I live in. Goat tier shoe. Only other thing I'm going to pair with this is a little stussy bag, because going into town, if I'm bringing my camera and I'm bringing my mic and stuff like that, you need a little bag to keep everything in. I haven't actually shown you guys yet, but I'm shooting on the DJI Pocket 3, which is a lovely little handheld camera, so easy for cutting about with. Everything fits in like a little bag like this, which is perfect. When I was bringing my DSLR around and things like that, it takes up so much space. You need a backpack or a big bag, and it's just long to carry about. So yeah, it's my little lightweight fit. But anyway, enough about that. Let's get going.
Just man ain't eating great, them man ain't eating late. That's why they're breeding hate. Ain't ever had a boy, better start speaking straight. And when I say I roll with dog, trust me that I don't mean Nate. And when I tell a man meet at 7, trust me cause I don't mean 8.
Okay, so we just wrapped up that meeting and it went really well. Very, very exciting. I think essentially what's going to happen off the back of this is I'm going to go and work in-house for the next few months, taking me up into the end of September, which is really nice. Good to have a little bit of work under my belt going forward, that I don't have to think about, you know, onboarding any new clients or sort of put myself out there. It's nice that I've got a few months anyway of just sort of getting my teeth stuck into some new work. Is that saying? Yeah, I'm excited to get involved. One of the main reasons I left my last job, it wasn't because of the whole agency environment or, you know, I wanted to just work completely on my own. I really enjoy that. That's one of the things I like the most about the job, is sort of working with other creative people in a creative setting, you know, coming together and just coming up with really good ideas and using all of your expertise, and you know, everyone's got their own sort of thing that they're good at to create something amazing. So I'm really happy about that. For me, it's just like the type of work, and this agency is like bang on everything that I kind of want to be working with, from the sports and fashion lifestyle sort of stuff. Like, they are kind of leading it in their field. So very happy to be with this team and yeah, get involved. One little bit of advice as well, if you do have the opportunity to ever go to a real life, I say real life, but you know, an in-person meeting, then always do so, because I think you get so much from going to these meetings that you can't get from online. It's just all those little moments of small talk, like before or after, where you talk about your hobbies or, you know, talk about things you've been up to, that help you really establish those sort of connections and those relationships. And that can really help you out. One of my first jobs, my internships when I was working in London, I got the job over 19 other people on like a little career day thing. Yeah, gas, but at the same time, I asked why I got the job, but they said I was the only person that went in there and spoke to them and introduced myself, and they didn't remember any of the other people's names. So it's just about having the confidence to kind of go and put yourself out there, make yourself known, and yeah, just kind of back yourself a little bit, really. So yeah, I'd always recommend doing that. If you're wondering why I'm looking around so much, it's because I'm just sat in the middle of the street in central London and there's just so many people walking past, and this sort of thing scares me. Videoing in public just scares me. It's something I've never had the confidence to do, but you know what? I don't really care. We're gonna get it done today. And yeah, something that I need to kind of build upon as I do a few more of these kind of freelance diary type videos and just have to get over it basically. But anyway, we need to carry on with the rest of our day. So gonna head back now, but I'll catch you when we get back home. Right, we're back and we have supplies. What I picked up is, first of all, PVA glue, okay? Second of all, some lovely black glossy spray paint. And third, some chrome. Now, I don't know how good this is, but this is chrome spray paint. It says it's got a bit of a shine to it, a bit of a gloss to it. As I mentioned earlier, I had a little bit of a random idea for a creative project, and it was inspired by this picture that I saw on Pinterest. Essentially, the other day, I got my retainers made for teeth whitening. And when they do this, they take a mold of your teeth and they send it to you as like a cast, I don't know what it's made out of, like clay mold, which is here. So this is why apparently it was a weird idea. So this is a mold of my teeth. But when I was cleaning the gaff out the other day, it was like, do I throw it away or can I use it for something? I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool to have like on the side, but I don't like the color and the style of what it currently is. So when I saw that picture on Pinterest, I thought, hey, can I cover this in chrome somehow and make like a little chrome sculpture of my teeth? Is that weird? I don't know, let me know. Potentially could use it in a piece of artwork as well. Yes, you can make it in 3D. Yes, you can make it in AI. Is it as fun? No. So what I read online is, because it's like a kind of clayish material, you need to coat it with PVA glue first, hence why we got the PVA glue. Coat it, let it dry, and then you can put the base coat on and finish with the chrome. So that is exactly what we're gonna do. I feel like we can do the PVA in here and then spray paint we'll take outside. So essentially, all I need is 50% PVA glue and then 50% water. So I can mix that in here. Let's do a bit more actually. And now let's add some water. It says 50-50, that does not look like it's mixing very well. Cool, that's looking like a good consistency. I don't know what a good consistency looks like, to be honest, but Right, and now I need to coat my teeth. So let's start off with the top. Yeah, I guess I just go for it really. I'm hoping I don't need this for any other reason because it did cost me like 300 quid. So, oh, don't drip everywhere. You can kind of see now I've covered it all in PVA. So I'm gonna let these dry and then cut to when they are dry, hopefully, and then we can do the base coat, okay? Right, see in a sec. I'm back in dark mode and I need to put on the base coat of this now. So essentially what I can do is, there we go, right. I'm not quite sure. I put enough PVA on the bottom actually, so I don't know if it's actually going to stick. Cool, so that's looking pretty dry now, the black base coat. So next we need to add the chrome layer. Has got a bit of a shine to it. Oh, I don't know, I think I prefer the black, but
Chris, I'm a big money sound investor. Got a couple skeng man friends on my end from West Green, Appleby to Burton and Ida. Big bars lick off your head like cider. Which little bastard I ain't got lyrics, I got bars, they got gimmicks. So why should I care about this waste man rhymer? 24/7, I'm a all day grinder.
Cool, so it's now the evening, it's now 9:30 and it's been a productive day. I'm happy with everything that we've managed to achieve today, but one thing that I'm kind of working on right now is updating my portfolio. I don't know about you, but me, I have a bad habit of only getting to my portfolio when I really need it, and that is not good because it normally means I'm rushing to put it together for some reason, whether that's applying for a new job or I'm putting together a case study, bringing some work to show someone, and I don't want to be in that position anymore. So I'm making sure that I'm carving some time out just to make sure that it's updated. That's exactly what I'm doing now. One of the main things is I've been in the industry long enough now where I can be a lot more selective about the projects that I'm putting in my portfolio. When you're first starting out, it's hard because you don't have that experience and you don't necessarily have the amount of work that you can kind of use to tailor that portfolio into a specific category, genre, style, and that's something that only comes with time and experience and having a lot of those projects under your belt. Luckily now I have the opportunity to do that. So when putting together this portfolio, I'm going to make sure that my portfolio represents these sorts of projects because these are the sorts of projects that I'm going to want to bring in now, and these are the sort of projects that I'm focusing on going forward. And one of the things that my old portfolio was doing, which hasn't been updated in ages, I'll actually show you now, but this has loads of different projects in that I've been working on over the years, and not everything I necessarily want to have in here. You know, I've got all of my Haribo work when I used to run the social account out of the UK and Ireland. Bit of a flex, loads of animation, very cool. I did really enjoy working on this client, but it's maybe not the sort of thing that I'm wanting to bring in going forward. So yeah, you can see like even this stuff is like some of my first jobs in London. I've moved on a lot since this, so it's something that I really want to update and make sure it's looking good for the future. So what I'm doing is I'm building a new site and I'm building it on Framer. Now I think I'm going to do a video on portfolios because I think there's a lot of things to learn and a lot of things to take away, and yeah, a lot of things that I've learned over the years from one, myself building it, and two, from hiring people and going through their portfolios. So I might do a little bit of like a portfolio workshop type thing. Let me know if you'd be interested in that because I think it's a really hard one to get right. I think working on your own projects and working on your own brand is a really difficult thing to do. You're always happy to do it for other people or for clients or whatever, but when it comes to yourself, I don't know, it just seems to be really, really hard. But yeah, essentially what I'm doing now is building out a new site. So what I can do is give you a bit of a sneak peek. You'll be the first people to see this. So this is the start of my new website that I'm building out on Framer, which I've been really, really enjoying. It's so nice to use, so clean. And as you can see, it's way more professional in the way that it's built and laid out compared to my old one. Essentially with this, I'm going to be using this as a bit of a brand hub to bring in both work, design work and content work. You know, I got brand deals and stuff going on now. You know, I'm a little bit of a content creator in this game. Who would have thought? So essentially what I want to do is have a hub if people want to hire me, you know, for everything. If people want to hire me for design, if people want to hire me for content, if people want to hire me for design and content, which is usually the case, they can come here, they can see all of my best projects, all of the work that I've been doing on the client side, which is what I do a majority of the time. And they can also see all of the content-led stuff. And maybe then I can expand the sort of things I'm working on with that client. So I want to have this as an all-round hub that I can use to bring in as much work as possible and represent me and my personal brand in the best way possible. But yeah, as I mentioned, I've been building out on Framer. The terrible thing is, right, this just shows you how bad I've been at doing my portfolio. I bought this template in December. It is now the middle of July. Do you know what I mean? It's taken me 7-8 months to actually get round to updating my portfolio from a time when I was like, right, I'm going to do it now. This is the time for me to update. And it still took me another 7 months. So, you know, if you guys are working on your portfolios and you haven't done it in a time, or, you know, you haven't got it up to date, you're not happy about it, don't worry. We're all in the same boat. But the best way that I found to get through it is to break down everything you need to do in loads and loads of little steps, and then just work through those one by one. When you think of doing a whole new, you know, portfolio and maybe updating some of your case studies, it can be quite overwhelming, especially on top of everything else that you got going on. So yeah, just break it down into as little tasks as possible and just do one, you know, a little bit each day. And then eventually within a week, you've maybe done one case study, or, you know, within a couple of weeks. And then before you know it, a few months go by and you're all updated. I think one of the important things to take away from this is your portfolio isn't just an example of the work that you've done. It is an example of the work that you want to bring in. So you need to think about building a portfolio that represents the work that you want to be working on, the work that you want to be bringing in. Because essentially it's a magnet to that sort of thing. So say you've been working on loads of sports stuff and your portfolio, you know, features loads of sports stuff in there, you're probably going to bring in more sporting related work than anything else. If you've done a load of album artwork, then maybe, you know, it kind of brings in more of those sort of projects. So just something to think about at any stage in your career. Definitely something that I haven't necessarily done in the past. But anyway, I'm kind of cooked for the night. I'm not going to lie. It's almost 10 o'clock. I'm pushing 30. And, you know, it gets to like 9:50 and I've got a chamomile tea and I'm going to bed. So yeah, times have changed. So I'm going to finish this off and then I'm going to call it a night. It's been a good day and it's been nice to bring you along for the ride. I hope you have enjoyed that. This has been a bit more of like an honest and more laid back way of me showing the sort of things I've been working on and sort of work that I've been getting up to. So if you like this, then we'll be showing a lot more of this over the next few videos for sure. But that's it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching and I'll catch you again soon with a new one. So take care and I'll see you in a bit.